Welcome to Visual Recreation, the essential video guide winning FML each and every week. I'm your local Puddin' Drew.
And I'm Joey, your freaking strategy guy. And this week we're talking about one big release in the box office, so let's fly into the new movies.
Super aggressive. The one movie we're going to be talking about this weekend, and realistically the only movie we should be talking about this weekend, is Birds of Prey and the Fantabulous Emancipation of One Harley Quinn. Now, Harley Quinn and her group of females, or entourage of females, or if they're birds of prey, are they murder of females? Because are they crows? Are they? I mean, it seems like it would fit.
Could be. Let's stick with entourage.
All right.
Group of,
Harley Quinn and her entourage of murdering group of female friends are all gathered together to take down one giant villain of Gotham named Roman. Now, Birds of Prey stars Margot Robbie, Mary Elizabeth Winstead, and Ewan McGregor, just to name a few.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Yes, that's right. And Rosie Perez is also in this movie. This was written by Christina Hodson, who also wrote Bumblebee, which was actually a good Transformers movie.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Now, Birds of Prey has a long-range forecast of $49 million with an opening range of $40 to $60 million. Now, it's a rated R movie, and it's coming out in an estimated 4,100 theaters. That's a lot of theaters.
Tons of theaters. Yes. And that's not even that's just an estimated. We
right.
could get to Friday and it could be up to maybe even 4,200.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the only movie.
Pushing it.
Yeah.
It's getting there. Now, when looking at comps, we first looked at Wonder Woman, which opened the summer of 2017. That movie made $103 million in 4,100 theaters, over 4,100. And now when looking at rated R anti-hero type movies, we of course had to take a look at Deadpool, which opened early February of 2016 to $132 million in over 3,500 theaters. So
tons of money is on the line. And will the rest of the box office fall prey to Harley Quinn and her friends? Let's get down to it in the movie radar, or the MODAR. Alright, so when we first saw this Harley Quinn, or this version of Harley Quinn, we first saw her in Suicide Squad, which came out in August of 2016, and that made $133 million in over 4,200 theaters. A lot of people have said that Harley Quinn was the saving grace of that movie, which I can agree with. I mean, that movie is really kind of terrible, and Margot Robbie's performance, I think, was very true to at least the Batman the Animated Series that I grew up watching, and a lot of people look at that as a major touchstone in Harley Quinn, in the Harley Quinn character, if you're not sitting there reading a ton of comic books about the character. So I think the general audience really accepted her performance. And with now this is going to be the next chapter in the Harley Quinn story. I mean, when looking at other R-rated hero movies, I mean, there's nothing to say that this movie isn't going to do better. This one doesn't feel like a $49 million movie. We haven't had a true blockbuster this year just yet. It's been pretty solemn in box office earnings this year so far. When you look at Logan, that was a little bit more of a darker tone. And Hugh Jackman said that it was going to be his last time as Wolverine, but that made $88 million in its opening weekend. Then you also have Joker that just came out recently with Joaquin Phoenix. It's getting a lot of Oscar noms. It had $96 million in its opening weekend. So nothing is pointing to this movie saying it's going to be $49 million. I think with this coming out right now, with nothing else really out there, everything else is kind of a stale. Because it's been out there for so long. I think this one could make over its long-range forecast and over its long-range projection range of $60 million. I think this one could be pushing 70 to maybe even $80 million.
Wow.
In my opinion, I think everything is there for this movie to do better than what Pro Box Office is saying. Okay. What do you think, Joey?
Well, I mean, of course, Margot Robbie, great actor to be Harley Quinn. I mean, she made that happen in Suicide Squad, like you were saying. But I don't know, this is giving me a similar vibe as Suicide Squad, except Suicide Squad had more hype around it, had more the marketing, the way they did the trailers to get everyone amped up for the movie was great. But then when they saw the film, it was a little bit of a letdown. So, I mean, I feel like it's gonna happen again. I think that Birds of Prey may have an audience flock to it for opening weekend, which is good for us here in Fantasy Movie League, but I don't know if it's gonna push up to the 80 million.
Okay.
I mean, I don't see it. I think projections recently have been skewed a little bit with the numbers, so I can see where the thinking is that it can get more.
Yeah.
Just because it is a bigger movie or bigger name coming out this weekend. But I don't know. I mean, I want to put it in the middle of its projection, but I guess I'll go a little bit higher because it is Margot Robbie. It is Harley Quinn. People did like that character.
Yeah.
So they do want to see what Hollywood's going to do with that character. But it's one of those anti-hero bad guy stories where, like, how much do we want to follow the villain, even though there's a bigger villain, you know, that she has to kind of fight and overcome, but her herself is a villain as well. So
right.
I don't know, I'll put it close to 60. We'll go $56 million.
Okay, that's reasonable. I would say that I'm going more than above what a lot of people could be saying for this movie. I just think of, like, Pro Box Office giving Bad Boys $30-something million, $36 million, and then in that weekend it made $70-something million. So,
yeah.
I mean, it could be, just keep on looking into those theater counts, looking to see how all the pros are projecting it, like Box Office Report and Pro Box Office and all those different sites. Go to the moviepicker.com or Movie Picker and see what all the pros are projecting, Top Thatcher and everybody, because I'm going to tell you right now, everybody and their mother's going to have a projection for this movie.
Yeah.
And it could be all over the place. So just be wary of everything that's happening.
Yeah, now I will say that it's probably going to be in your anchor, of course. It's gonna
Maybe.
make. I mean, with all the other movies that are already on the lineup, they've been there for a while, like you were saying. So I don't think they're gonna necessarily outperform it, especially if it can reach 56 or even the 80 million that you're saying. Then it's probably gonna be your anchor, of course, based on pricing and theater counts and stuff. But I don't know. That's it. That's all we got for this episode. If you go see Birds of Prey, let us know what you think about it in the comments below. Thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And remember, sometimes you gotta risk it to get that biscuit.
In the pudding.